Last week, we talked about whether radio ads are a good use of your limited library marketing dollars. If you missed that video, I'll put it up here. But this week, we're turning our attention to billboards. They're big, they're enormous, they're ginormous, but are they actually a good use of your money? That's coming up in this episode of the Library Marketing Show. Hey, everybody, my name is Angela Hursh. I run the blog superlibrarymarketing.com. If you head over there, you'll see a Library Marketing Show tab where you can ask a question for a future episode of this show. I'm also looking for nominations for kudos. Is your library doing something wonderful for library marketing? Have you seen another library doing great work in library marketing? Let me know by clicking on the Library Marketing Show tab. Tell me about them, and we'll talk about them a little later on in one of the episodes. Before we get to today's topic about billboards, I also want to ask for you to subscribe to my channel or follow me on LinkedIn. That way you never miss an episode of this show. I have a couple of things for you to consider as you try to figure out whether to spend money in this new year on billboards for your library. Some pros, first of all, billboards clearly have an expansive reach. So their giant size really makes it impossible for people to miss them for the most part. Although I will say, from my own personal experience driving past roads, a lot of times, depending on where it is, I will drive past a billboard and I could not tell you what was on that billboard. On the other hand, there are other locations in the city where I live where I drive past a billboard and I immediately look at it and think about the thing that's on the billboard. So placement is really important for billboards. If you can get a great placement, you are going to very much expand the reach of your library, especially to people who may not have interacted with your library or thought about your library for a while. Continuous exposure is another thing that billboards provide for libraries, clearly. Usually you buy a 30-day rotation on a billboard. So that's 30 days of your message being front and center where people drive by or walk by all the time. And I think that can be really valuable and if you're trying to do some consistent messaging this year, that can be a great way to make that goal happen. I think billboards may be a good idea for a library if they have the budget when you're trying to reach a certain population in a certain area of your service area. So for example, if you wanted to talk about your winter reading program and there's a billboard in an area of your city or town where your cardholder saturation rate is lower than you would like, you might want to put up a billboard there because you're targeting that geolocation and letting people know about your winter reading program and your library. So let's talk about the cost, because for me, this is the big con of billboard advertising. It really depends on the company and where you are. The cost of a billboard ranges from $750 to $2,000 a month in rural areas, $2,500 to $4,000 in small to mid-sized libraries, and then up to $14,000 a month in larger markets. So they are expensive. I am curious if your library has ever put up a billboard for marketing. If you have and you have some advice for my viewers, let's start a conversation down in the comments. Okay, it's time for our Kudos Award. And kudos today is going to the Fayetteville Library in Arkansas. I got a Google alert. They received some coverage on one of their local, as a CBS station, for a new program, or it's not a new program, I guess it's a program that they're bringing back. It's called From Maker to Market. It's a great piece of content that got on the CBS affiliates nightly news, and they were able to get some coverage for this program that they're bringing back. So kudos to you, Fayetteville Library. Okay, that's it for today's episode. But my channel's got lots more advice and tips for library marketing. If you're interested in that, head to the next video and I will see you there.